Hey, thanks a million for checking out the video. So I'm going to talk about 5 things that will help you when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed that I have found extremely valuable to myself over the last couple of months. Number 1 is paying attention to your body. So that could be moving differently, so taking a flight of stairs, going for a walk around the building. It could be taking a glass of water, or it could just be changing your state. So it's standing up from where you are, moving around, and then going back to solving or engaging with whatever the challenge is that you may be stressed or overwhelmed by. The second one is journal. Get the thoughts out of your head onto a sheet of paper. Often what happens is we're so jumbled in our thinking and there's so many thoughts, we just can't get them clear. And objectively being able to examine and just see your thread of thinking has been extremely invaluable to me, and I'll be doing other videos on that kind of process, but I've done a journaling 101 as well that I'll link to somewhere here. The third is just asking for help. Ludi, can you help me with something over here, please? Come on. So often we think we have to solve these problems ourselves, and so we look down and into ourselves to solve problems. Instead, what I found has helped me this week has been to look up and out and actually ask for help and say, I'm struggling with this Excel macro. I'm nervous about my speech next week. I'm nervous about XYZ. It's stressing me out because of this deadline, and I'm overwhelmed in trying to solve all of the challenges that I'm trying to solve today. So ask for help. Who could you not necessarily delegate to, but who could you help with a macro in Excel? Who could help you make sense of the presentation? Who can explain the dynamics and the personalities of the people you're speaking with? That has definitely helped me this week. Next, talk about it. One of the things that I'm struggling with at the moment is I just can't figure out how to get this report done. What do you think I should do? Maybe I'm not pasting the values correct. Thanks so much for spending the time. I appreciate you giving me this, creating this space for me. We often think, again, this is a little bit different than asking for help, but just find some channel where you can share how you're thinking with somebody else who has a maybe ability or a skill set to allow you that space to think without judging, or just knowing that you have that space where you can be trusted and can share openly and candidly. I think rarely we get that type of attention from people. But imagine then to flip this to other people that you have in your network, create that space for them to come into. And that's just an aside, but absolutely pay it forward with anything that you test and try when you're dealing with stress and overwhelm. Who can you help with this? And potentially it's providing space. And the last one then is remember who or what you're grateful for. So often when we're stressed or overwhelmed, our attention is on lots of things that could be what ifs. You're kind of creating maybe anxious thoughts around possibilities of things that could go wrong and that kind of thing. And to shift your state, I mentioned the kind of body piece, but often as well, it's shifting our attention to the things that we're grateful for, but also that we're proud of. So proud of is really the things that you have done and brought inside out to the world. So they could be things like, I'm proud of raising money for charity. I'm proud of delivering that presentation last week. Grateful for things that have come into your life. So it could be, I'm grateful for the relationship that I'm in. I'm grateful for the opportunities at work to learn and grow and contribute to the development of people. It could be lots of stuff like that. But that paying attention and shifting your attention to those things rather than where your thoughts were around the stress and the overwhelm and the challenges and the issues and all that kind of stuff. That's stressful, but shifting your state to, I'm grateful for this, I'm proud of this. And it can feel like I don't have time for that. But if you want to solve challenges as productively and effectively as possible, sometimes taking yourself out of that situation is actually what will help. If you're in the gym all day long lifting weights, your muscles will never grow because they've never had time to recover. So building in that space for yourself out of the environment to recover, but also to shift the attention on things that will change your state is invaluable, and I've definitely benefited from that recently as well. So just a couple of tips, test them out. I'd love to hear how you get on when you're kind of feeling stressed or overwhelmed, but I'll be doing a kind of future videos on this topic because it's really important to me. I hope you have an amazing day ahead, and in the future when stress and overwhelm happens, that you try some of these things and let me know if they work and what you noticed from testing them out.